Hello, welcome to Prequel, Sequel, Requel. This is a Christmas special.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. God bless us
ho,
one
ho.
all. We are in our new home, as you might have noticed. This is Geek Retreat in Leeds. There's several Geek Retreats around the UK. Check out the website. We'll put a link down there. So this is going to be our new base for now. It's nice and bright and colourful, better than our dingy one we were in. Anyway, Merry Christmas. This is a Christmas episode. We're going to do Home Alone 1 and 2 today. We're going to treat them as one film, as if that's just the Macaulay Culkin era. So forget everything that's gone before or after it. We're not going to deal with that.
have forgotten everything
Yeah.
that went.
With us on this show is Josh Wyatt.
Hello.
Say hello, Josh. That's it. Noel Curry.
Hello.
Myself, Chris Lumb. Hello. Tom King.
Hello.
And Eddie French.
Hi.
Right. So I think we're ready to roll, unless we're forgetting anything. Are we? We're not forgetting anything.
Don't forget.
Kevin!
Well done, Tom.
That went better.
Establish the law. Sequel. Then give us some more. Prequel. Not the same as before. Prequel, sequel, requel.
Accidentally left behind when his family rushes off on a Christmas vacation, 8-year-old Kevin McAllister, Macaulay Culkin, embarks on a hilarious madcap mission to defend their family home when two bumbling burglars, Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern, try to break in and find themselves tangled in Kevin's bewildering battery of booby traps. Great news! Kevin McAllister, Macaulay Culkin, is spending the holidays in New York City. Bad news, his parents are spending them in Florida. Separated once again from his family, Kevin manages to find food, lodging and fun using his dad's credit card. But his big spending solo act takes a dangerous turn when the wet bandits, Harry and Marv, Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern, escape prison and also land in the Big Apple. Now Kevin must outrun and outprank them again in this high-flying adventure with twice the ingenuity, twice the kid power, and twice the laughs as the original. Okay, let's start with the prequels then. So, Noel, we'll start with you, good sir. So, Home Alone it up.
Home Alone up. Okay, we open. The screen is kind of a red and kind of underwater type red. Have you seen the uncut version of Suspiria? There's a shot where the woman gets stabbed in the heart. You see, there's actually a shot from inside the body, and the knife comes in and goes into her heart.
Right.
Oh yes, yes.
Like, for the geeks, like Inner Space.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Right.
This is definitely inner space, and you slowly realise you're inside someone's body.
Oh.
What's this coming in? It's an enormous penis. So we're at the moment of conception.
Right.
From inside
the vulva, and so we see.
Is it in 3D?
I like it, yes, 3D, because we see the point of ejaculation.
This is in your prequel, or you're still talking about
Prequel.
Suspiria?
No,
This is
no, I've
prequel.
got Freud on the phone for you.
Merry Christmas.
So when the ejaculate comes up, we zoom into these millions of sperm, and there's one tiny little sperm right in the middle that's got the face of cute little Kevin.
Kevin McAllister.
And he looks around, and every other sperm is Harry and Marv.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
Paulie McCumpkin.
So even then it's right.
Even then, so he realizes there's like 100 billion Harry and Marvs, and he has to prevent them from getting to the egg. So, yes.
Right, okay, so much. Off the initial bat, 3 different sperms from one sac?
Yeah. Well, every
All right,
sperm's
okay.
got its own personality.
It's from a medical background. You do have different types of sperm inside your ball sack. We all do. We all have at least 2. There are attack sperm and defence sperm. So Noel was thinking is correct.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But there's a weird that there's basically one defence sperm, which is Kevin,
Kevin.
and the rest are attack sperm.
Wow.
So
Overwhelming odds, it's like 300.
also, how has Kevin's mum got the DNA of Joe Pesci and in there?
Dad.
Dad.
How has he got the DNA? Sorry, yeah, how has he got the same question?
Right.
So
Yeah, I know.
What could be-
actually,
well,
we know
this
how
comes
Kevin's
up
mum's
in,
got it.
yeah, we do know how
We've just seen
Kevin's
it in
mum's got it.
3D.
I was struggling with this one because I was like, I looked up on the internet and there's all these dark Home Alone theories. I was going, well, I can't copy that. I have to try and come up because one of them was that how does John Hurd have this massive house and Mum doesn't work They're
Yeah.
filthy rich, so they didn't really talk about what he does. He's in the mob,
Oh,
obviously.
well,
Also, he's in the 80s, much more affluent.
Oh yes, yes.
yeah.
Well, the other theory is that Uncle Frank actually hired Harry
Marv
and
to do the
Marv
place
to
over.
do the place over and kill them. So they're all connected. They're all got criminal
Yeah.
connections. So they do. He is distantly related to
I
Harry and Marv.
wrote sort of one of my possible prequels that I thought of.
Well, let's come to that, shall we?
No, this isn't the
No,
one
no,
I've
no.
gone with. This
All
is,
right.
it just relates to yours in that it was Kevin resisting birth. They were trying to reduce him. He
Right,
didn't want
right.
to come out, so he was just like swinging over his at doctors like paint cans and smacking him in the face with it. So yeah, it was pretty gynecological. It was
Yes.
natal.
Have we got? Is that?
Well, it's just lots of adventures. So it's him. It's recreating all the stunts from the original, but in a kind of biological way. Like for instance, there's he uses a unused blood vein and attaches it to. There's a tear in the anal vaginal tissue, so he manages
Like
to
a fissure.
So he manages to flow, get some methane flowing through this vein.
Anal fissures are quite incredibly bad.
Yes, no, it's not.
Get those looked at. If you have an anal fissure,
Yeah, that is true.
please get it seen to by a doctor as soon as possible.
It does send the mum in a whole new light when you watch the next
It's not.
two
It's
films.
not just a bit of fun. This is actual medical
medical information.
advice.
Edutainment.
Yeah.
I think
All these links will be at the end of the video.
Cut to Catherine O'Hara just in seething abdominal pain.
Well, this is it. There's this one bit where he gets the methane through the vein, manages to strike 2 kidney stones together, which makes into a little homemade flamethrower. That takes out a good billion. Merv's dying and
like
screaming,
In the
arguing.
blood vein, methane in the vein.
But that you cut to Maureen O'Hara. It's not Maureen O'Hara.
Marv and Harry.
Marv's mum kind of going,
Oh.
"Ooh, I've got a bit of indigestion there." You know, there's here.
Like inner space and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
where
yeah.
there's something happens and
Or Osmosis Jones.
just
That was
digested the
definitely
bad guy.
Osmosis Jones.
my-
Wow.
right. Okay, is that's
yeah,
done?
it's called
Well,
either Sperm Alone or Womb Alone. I haven't quite decided
all
yet.
right, that's fine. Well, if you get the green light, you can have a meeting about the titles. Well, you touched on a little bit of mine actually. My prequel is actually called Lone Alone. Right?
Alone.
Lone Alone.
Alone.
Explores the seedy past of Peter McAllister as he worked as a loan shark. I went along your thing of why has he got this money. So his partner in dodgy dealings is Marley, who is also known as the Christmas Slayer due to his Christmas time fondness of collecting payments and bodies. He'll only go collect at Christmas, and if somebody
This
doesn't
is
pay-
Marley. This is
the salt guy.
This is
A Christmas
Christmas
Carol.
Carol Marley.
Yes, well, you can have that as well.
Or
But
is it-
it's Old Man Marley from the film.
Yeah.
Oh right, the
Yeah.
shovel guy.
But you could have a tie into that.
Memorable role.
The actor also was the only other kind of big part he had was in the 70s. It was in a film called Deranged: Confessions of a Necrophile, which was about Ed Gein. So,
Wow.
Sounds like the 70s.
So, and that's it basically. The whole film sets up Peter McAllister's wealth as he grows his underworld empire, because there's something going on, isn't there? How has he got this money?
Yeah.
It never tells you what his job is.
and when the kind of police turn up in the first one, he's sort of a bit like, "Ooh, am I in trouble, officer?" And
Is
he's
that- goes out with
"They're
his
on
hands
to
like
me."
that.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, you got
It's
me.
guilty, 'cause Jimmy Savile always used to do that when he would get calls from journalists. He would go, "Oh, I confess, you got me copyrights here." And it's
I,
like,
I promise you, she said she was 16.
Hiding.
That was how
Hiding in plain
Hiding in
sight.
plain
Hiding in
sight,
plain
which is
sight,
what
yeah,
John
yeah.
does, and he's in number 2.
He is, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Right, okay.
I did see that cameo and kind of went, "Oh, remember when he was just a harmless buffoon?"
Yeah.
Happy days.
Yeah, with one line. It's down the hall to the left.
He didn't have
It's your
a
greatest hall.
Instead of a fucking megalomaniacal buffoon.
he always was. He's just been given power.
Anyway, right, okay. Tom,
It's Christmas. Come on.
Tom, what have you got for us?
My prequel is called Motor Home Alone. Right, Kevin's mum and dad have gone on a European vacation in a motorhome. They haven't forgotten him this time. However, the other kids are staying with their uncle and aunt for some reason. They're not in it, and it's too many parts to write. And they're on holiday, they're in Turkey or somewhere like that, in this really nice motorhome that they've hired, and Kevin's playing in the back, and they get to a checkpoint, and his parents get kidnapped by I wrote down, an unknown but quite racistly portrayed Middle Eastern terror group for ransom, right? So they're taken for ransom, they're kidnapped, right? And they're taken away and they're driven away in the motorhome. And the parents are taken out of the motorhome and locked in a cell and everything, and they do all the videos to sort of like get the money back. In the meantime, the terrorists haven't checked the motorhome. Kevin's in the back. They then decide to use it to make money for the terrorist group, right? By going around in the motorhome doing jobs like bank jobs and heists and that.
Bother job.
Boy Scouts to get away with
got you, right.
in a series of bank jobs, and things like that, right? So they're using this motorhome. Well, it's they can drive around in any old vehicle.
Terrorists like those kind of vehicles, like Back to the Future,
very
had
ramshackle.
little VW vans.
That's what I was thinking.
Good save.
Soldiers, free spirits, and 80s Middle Eastern terrorists.
That's it. And so they go and do a series of jobs. Kevin, they've not checked the van. He's in a little bedroom at the back. Every time they go in and do a heist, he sneaks into the bank, right? And this is where he's learned all his skills that he's got from watching the terrorists doing them. And then because he's so small, he's like 2 or something like that. He sneaks out a little, he hides and looks around things. Like he's being all cute and everything. He'll sneak out, trip one of them up. They don't see him. Sneaks back under the table.
Right.
And he starts and he foils them all, doing all these jobs and stops them from getting all this money. And you just follow him round.
This is hardcore Baby's Day Out.
Yeah, pretty much. And then in the meantime, you see negotiations going on to free his parents and things like that, because they want a ransom. And then they send in like the SAS, the American SAS, the Navy SEALs. They send them in. They not as good as the SAS though, are they?
American, it's ASAS.
ASAS.
Assas.
The American SAS.
Right, are they?
That's where the term assassins comes from.
Okay.
So they go in, obviously rescue them, get them back. All happens in a weekend, and then they're on the way back with the Navy SEALs. They're in a boat and they get to a Navy ship and they get put up and they go, and then they turn around to the camera, Kevin! And he's still in the back of the trailer and that's it, and then you have to go and rescue him.
Because he's sort of like,
So they've done
like
it.
asleep, all adorable.
So
like,
this is your prequel. They've done it before to him anyway.
Yeah.
So that makes it even.
And the reason he's got his house is compensation for what's happened to him from the American government. And so he's got this big house because he never has to work again. That's why they always go on Christmas vacations and stuff.
Solid.
Could the bloke who plays the negotiator be played by the guy who does Dick Thornburg in Die Hard? It's just sort of like a weedy shit man.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely. Or the bloke who plays the guy who shuts down the trap in Ghostbusters. Pencil Dick.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's the same actor.
Is it the same?
I think it is.
Shove it off. Shove it off.
It is.
Is it the same?
That guy. We need that guy. Get him out of retirement.
Excellent. Okay, Eddie, what have you got for us?
I've veered away from. I'm amazed Noel hasn't done this, to be honest. But I have decided that we're going to see the story of Tim Curry's character from Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. So a young and determined man, he sets out to make it in the hotel world, and it's a bit like Forrest Gump in that he sort of wanders through everything, making it better without realising. And so it's a bit medley. So he's delivering towels to the presidential suite at the Kempskin Hotel in 2002, where Michael Jackson's hanging a baby off of the balcony. Got more towels for you. And it's like, and then sort of, and then Michael Jackson goes, I'll put my towels soft for the baby. Brings the baby back in, puts them on the towels, and go, that's nice. Right. So extra pillows in room 1742 for John Lennon and Yoko Ono at the Queen Elizabeth Hotel in Montreal. He's also knocks on the door at an inopportune moment at the Watergate Hotel. Housekeeping, and throughout it he says his catchphrase to everyone that he helps out, which is "A lovely day." And so people, so we find out what led him to the Plaza Hotel, where he's the head of it all. So we see him through the lowly steps, where when he's just a little baby, what's his name, the guy who plays the bellhop.
Oh, Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider, yeah. Rob Schneider. actually watchable in this film.
Yeah. Doesn't have to say much.
No, it really doesn't. Absolutely fine. So yeah, so mine, I want to see Tim Curry's life as a hotelier.
Well, more Tim Curry would be great, wouldn't it? Always. So, yeah, very good. Josh, what have you got for us, your prequel?
Right, okay.
What have you got for us, you prick?
No, I said your prequel, please.
Okay.
What have you got for us, you prick? Hey, welcome to the show, you prick.
Thanks for
His?
coming, now spill. Yeah.
Right,
Sorry,
okay.
carry on.
This better be good.
I'm not going to lie, mine's fucking long, so I'll go with that one. So, 1902, this is Home Alone, Origins.
Oh.
Yeah, right. So, 1902, Valley of the
We
Kings,
all know how well
Egypt.
that works for the X-Men.
Yeah, Wolverine and everything. Oh my god.
Is your sequel Old Man Kevin?
Well, let's deal with the prequel first.
Well, you're not too wrong. Right, okay.
He's already said it's long. Let's see.
You're right.
We open with a time team of architects mucking about on a big cliffy wall with tiny brushes and other shit like that. Suddenly, one of them hits a rock and shit falls down, and it's an elaborate stone door. And he goes to the boss, "Hey, boss, come have a gander at this." But in Arabic, because it's Egypt. And he goes, "Oh my God." Cut to London, England. We're outside of a cinema. A man and a woman are walking down the street, having just seen 1902's hottest summer blockbuster, A Trip to the Moon. And outside, they're walking down the pavement, having a little tip about the film. And the woman's like, "Space travel, how amazing." And he's just like, "No, it's all right. It looks pretty, but it's pretty mundane." He is our protagonist. His name is Chester Hancock, a handsome explorer and treasure hunter. He looks like a cool version of Indiana Jones or a regular version of Nathan Drake. And the woman's like, "Oh, is there anything that excites you, Chester?" And he's just like, "No, just adventure." But carriage pulls up inside a fancy man. Who's from the... It's a fancy man. He's a professor at the University of Oxford. And he says, "Come in."
Oh, carriage. I thought you meant a baby carriage. Or what? Why is there a grown-up man in a baby
1902.
carriage?
There's horses and everything.
With a handsome cab.
Yeah.
In a handsome carriage.
So he goes, "Mr. Hancock, I'm William J. Barrow, professor of history at Oxford. We need you for an adventure in Egypt." And so he jumps in. Yeah.
What are these? Why are architects digging in the
Archaeologists.
in the desert?
I didn't want to pick him up on that, Tom. Don't you?
Spelling.
Archaeologists.
Spell check on open office and
Make sure
shit.
that the correct.
The architects went in after the archaeologists to make
to
sure
rebuild
everything was
it.
stable.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, so
Building on sand.
we're going over to Egypt, still 1902,
Yeah.
and they're on a camel making the way through the desert, and we meet Ahmed, who's the local guide, and Seamus, the plucky Irish stereotype, who is Professor Barrow's representative on this expedition. And they get off the camel and they meet the extra pair of hands, Irene Weiss, yeah? She looks like a cool version of PlayStation 1 Lara Croft or a regular version of PlayStation 4 Lara Croft. Okay, and they're both getting annoyed. Hancock and Weiss, they only work alone. Will they ever get along? Let's find out. So all four of them, they go in and they start getting hot on the collar for all the nice old fancy Egyptian shit, yeah? And, it's 1902, so this was before Wikipedia, so they had to, learn what a vase was from a book. And in this Home Alone,
You'll never fly.
and in this Home Alone, the spooky curse shit starts happening. And in this Home Alone, the Kevin is not a person, rather it's a pharaoh's curse that whispers on the wind, like, "Get out." And all the traps, there's loads of them. The fun ones hit the two main protagonists, Weiss and Hancock. There's olive oil slick stone stairs, a tussle with one of those crocodile-faced lion monsters from the walls.
A chimera.
A golden ankh that's on a bit of string that swings down at dick level.
Ankh's in the din.
The deadly ones hit Ahmed and Seamus. One of them falls through a hole in the ground into a big snake pit. Says, "What a hole," before getting necked. And one of them
What a
gets
hole. That's a great bit of dialogue.
One of them gets eaten alive by one of those scarab beetle things from The Mummy. And they make their way to the burial chamber, the center of this big profiterole tomb, right? And it's good, but between it's just an ordinary corridor. And they're just
most dangerous kind.
Exactly. Hancock's like, "I'm going to go for it," but Weiss is just like, no, it's not going to happen. We're going to die if we go through this corridor. We've got our stuff. We should cut our losses and nick off. So they do. And as they ride into the sunset on camelback, they lament to themselves, what treasure is so valuable to warrant such an evil curse? Cut to Valley of the Kings, 1330 BC. We flash back, and the old pharaoh is ill as fuck in his bed. An aide appears by his side. My king, the tomb has been completed. And he looks around the room and he sees his family and his friends and his aide and the people who have been around him for his life well lived. And then he passes away. And we cut to a huge crowd of mourners outside the tomb in all its brand spanker's splendor. Everyone's really sad, and it's like a really expensive long take going into the tomb. They're setting up the traps. They're doing, the level 8 spell of protection that, caused so much hassle for our protagonists. And in the burial chamber, the aide hands the death mask to the former prince, now king, to place on his father's head. And he puts it on his head. It's all shot from the sides. It's very, very nice. And he goes, but goodbye, father. And then they leave. But the camera stays on the golden death mask, right? And it slowly pans up, so it reveals the golden death mask of the king with his hands either side. Mouth slightly again.
Wow.
Cut to credits.
Nice.
Wow. I do like how you decided that you were just going to adapt some of your Nathan Drake Lara Croft fan fiction.
Hey, that's what we're here for.
Yeah, I know.
Very
It
good.
was long, wasn't it?
It was long. Thanks for the warning. Just needed that.
Yeah. And it only made sense with the last line.
No, that's fine. No, it's good. Very good. Okay, Rel, we better move on to the sequels before we run out of time. Okay, time for the sequels. So we'll start off with... Let's start off with Josh, actually, this time.
Oh, God, right, okay. No break here.
Does everyone have a cup of tea, mate?
You'll need it. This is Home Alone 3. Just keeping it simple. 3 spelled out. Fuck me. This is so long, guys. I'm so sorry. Right, okay, so...
If you go into details of how things are spelt, then maybe they'll take a while.
What font is it in?
No, don't stop. Don't stall him. Don't stall him.
It's all that, Noel. It's all that. Right, okay, so...
Is it, though?
Cold open. We see an old man in a double bed. The unused side of the bed is tidy, with some old-timey perfume adorning the nightstand. On the used side, we see a digital alarm clock flick to 8 o'clock, and a lazy hand turns it off. Without filming his face, the old man gets up, makes his bed, and does the morning routine. He checks his wall calendar and sees that it's Christmas Eve, and that mark it with the brats is penciled in. His phone vibrates, and it's from Claire, and an angel face emoji, and it reads, "Can't wait to go to the market tonight, Gramps." And we stay on the phone screen, and he goes, "Can't wait either, Angel, see you later." And goes to the background of that. It's a husband and wife on the day of their wedding. They look like every new married couple should, full of happiness and anticipation for the future. They look a little bit older, in their mid-40s. In the mid-40s. The groom, however, looks quite familiar. He looks like he could be some kind of Italian mobster, and he looks as though he could be some kind of reformed bandit. And here it's revealed that we have an 80-year-old Harry Lime, Joe Pesci from the films here, and he goes into the thing, goes out the door. Title card: Home Alone 3. That's before the title card.
Oh my God. Keep going.
So it's 2018. It's
Look upon your own work and despair. Oh, what have I done?
Can each title card be done in a different style? Like one will be like Japanese kung fu movie. One will be like 50s noir.
yeah, it'll be neon.
Don't stop him. Right, keep going.
He's having such a good time.
Nope. Right, okay. It's 2018 at the Chicago German Christmas market, which is a real thing that attracts over 1 million people a year. The Umpire Band are romping.
You see where you could have made edits, can't you?
Yeah, it might be a little bit too big.
Look, it's all about saying
What's
it
the
all.
weather like?
So like people know about some things, and
Right, okay. So basically,
from Wikipedia.
right, okay.
We really appreciate the effort. We really do.
Right. Harry Lime with his grandkids, they go into one of those escape rooms that's been set up. But who's manning the booth? Oh, it's this kid who's playing. It's this kid who's playing on their Nintendo Switch. But then who comes in? It's her dad, Kevin McAllister.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's not an escape room. It turns into a murder house, and it goes like really big, like
Holy
the
shit.
Spencer Mansion, and it ends. Fucking hell. It eventually goes into sort of like saw traps, essentially, by
Right,
the end of
okay.
it. and he has to.
That's where he'd have got to now, isn't
It
it?
is.
Because, you know,
It's the obvious.
Yeah.
He's had a taste for
Kevin,
it.
it's
It's the
Home Alone
natural.
is the
The
equivalent
natural.
of murdering a kitten or something as a child. And then, like, what you've got onto is the full-blown murder. That
Yeah, we're going there.
Yeah.
It's Kevin. He's
Culkin
doing
was
it.
in that. Was it The Good Child or something?
Oh, yes.
Where he plays a horrible little murderer.
It does, yeah. With Elijah Wood, I'm thinking.
Yes.
He's good at playing horrible little murder, isn't he? He's done
Oh, he
several.
Yeah,
played
Sin
Sin
City,
in this
yeah.
one, but yeah, in Sin City he was pretty foul. But yeah.
And Maniac, the remake of that, if you've seen that.
Oh, beg pardon,
That is wonderful.
So basically, ends with Marv all tied up in a saw trap. He gets shot in the head by Harry because Marv didn't reform. Harry did reform, hence why he's got the grandkids and the good life and stuff like that. He gets arrested at the end of it, and we see a long shot of Kevin McAllister's face by the booth. He's got a twisted smile, like, you know, that Aphex Twin album cover.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just
A window
there.
licker smile.
Yeah. Goes that, cuts to black, and the credits song is "God's Gonna Cut You Down" by Johnny Cash.
Wow, nice. You like your long shot at the end, don't you?
I love a good long shot.
We'll shoot the director's cut version. We'll get click the link for the full version.
All that didn't get read.
The director's
Oh, well, I feel bad now.
It's
No,
all right. It's all
The
right.
director's cut version is going to make the director's cut of The Lord of the Rings look like an act of filmic cowardice.
My
Right.
recall's even longer.
Excellent. Okay, Noel, your sequel, please.
Well, I was. It does lend itself to going, okay, what film franchise is this going to morph into? We've already had it morphing into Saw.
Yeah.
That was one of my possibilities. The other one was like, oh, does he turn to Q? He ends up in the Bond franchise.
Right.
So I'm not going to go with that.
Gadgets, yeah.
So what I've gone with is you see Harry and Marv. Oh, another thing, Harry is called Harry Lime after a reference to Orson Welles' character in The Third Man.
Yeah.
But there's no similarity between them whatsoever that I can see. Anyway, so Harry and Marv are.
Highfalutin reference
It's
for
like,
something
oh yes,
makes no
that
sense, yeah.
must. That'll. I'm really interested to see what they do with that.
The screenplay's
Oh,
been
nothing.
Well, do they actually name him in the film? Do they actually say his last name? I don't think.
I don't know, but he's
I don't
definitely
think
called
they do.
Harry Lime.
Yeah,
that's
but I
what
think
he is
that'll have
on
come from
IMDb.
something. Be on the end credits. So I don't think they actually reference the name.
Right.
The Home Alone script has actually been knocking about Hollywood since the 1930s, with Orson Welles originally being cast to play it. So,
No, do you know what? He
Okay.
hates everything about this script apart from his name. His name is brilliant.
It remained on the blacklist until.
It's a very communist film.
So, well, it was actually with a different studio,
The
wasn't
Blacklist
it?
was the.
It was with a different studio until they went, oh, we're not putting all this money in for Home Alone, and then
Yeah.
20th Century Fox went, we'll have it.
Well, they started with
And I went,
somebody else was playing Marv originally.
Oh, they had
didn't-
they had a really long cast list of people that turned it down. And,
No, I think they started shooting with somebody
Oh,
else.
did they?
And
Oh,
because
no.
they didn't have enough money to hire Daniel Stern, which was like, I don't.
Hot off city
He was,
slickers.
yeah. or something, and,
Hey, you got a hat. It probably were actually. When was this? 1990, were it?
yeah. But they said whoever. I don't know who it was, but they
Conley.
said they had no chemistry with Harry or Joe Pesci.
Wow.
So they recast it. There was, I know that Michael Richards was up for the part from Kramer.
Oh, yeah.
From Kramer.
Kramer versus Kramer.
Racism.
Anyway,
Right,
sequel. Harry and Marv in prison,
right.
and
Fa la 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 la.
and Harry just goes, having seen what Marv's gone through, he's just gone, I think I've got a way of getting out of here. So he gets a massive poster of Requel, and during the night, he just continually smashes Marv into the wall because he's had all these bricks thrown at him,
yeah.
and you're like, if he can take that, he can take. And Marv's like, he's like a bit dizzy, but he just wakes up in the morning
He's been
fine.
vaccinated against blunt trauma.
Doing that, shouting his name. Harry! Like, 'cause it's like, Harry!
It should be a poster of Orson Welles.
Rita
yeah,
Hayworth.
Yeah,
It's got to be.
Yeah.
Maureen O'Hara.
and they call themselves.
Macaulay Culkin. It's a poster of Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah,
That's
get it
weird.
meta.
Yeah.
It's a poster, poster from the film Richard Rich.
Wait, hang on, they're in prison and they've got a poster of a small boy.
What are they calling themselves now?
The Smashy Bandits.
One of them calls them that, the other one can't
Because he
talk.
keeps twatting the wall.
Yeah.
It could be the twat bandits. Twat bandits.
That isn't what they get called if they've got a poster of a boy.
Right.
So, but so he smashes through the wall
Yeah.
out of the prison. The prison is like in the mountains,
Oh.
and this rocky ravine. So Harry rides Marv like a bobsleigh down like this slate.
So he's
mess.
basically his toolkit, is what you're saying.
Yeah, he's just
Right.
going,
You can have a shot where they're running down a corridor and they get to and they open a door. There's an open door at the end, and the camera goes. They stop, and the camera goes past them, and it's a massive ravine on the side of a mountain.
Yeah.
Those, drone spins round, proper big.
yeah, and they skirt over the edge,
Mission Impossible.
do a
style.
bit of the running, fall down like this massive cliff. You just see them tumbling, but every time they kind of just go "Ugh," and get going again.
They land, their legs sort of compact into themselves, and they just walk off.
Yeah,
Looking really annoyed, and they're fine in the next scene.
And then, but it seems like they're after one difficult passage after another. There's just another really difficult thing. There's like a glass factory they have to smash their way through. And by the end they're going, this seems really difficult. And as they get through the final one, I hear this slow hand clap. Somebody going, well done, you've passed the tests. And we pull out to see Samuel L. Jackson with a cane in a wheelchair.
Oh, nice.
Mr. Glass.
I thought he was going to be playing like an older Kevin McAllister.
No.
Well. Merry Christmas.
That's why you had the glass factory, innit?
Yeah,
Oh, there you
so
go.
a little reference.
Good.
So it is. So
Oh, we should have picked up on that earlier.
certainly.
M. Night Shyamalan.
Night
Shyamalan Ding
Shyamalan.
Dong.
Another twist.
Another twist.
Oh my god, very good. Okay, excellent. Right, my sequel then is Home Alone 3 Lost in Lapland. Okay, it's set 1 year
Well
after.
done for including Christmas.
Well, I tried
We're
to.
halfway through, and
Yeah.
you're not the first person, so well done.
So far
Can't
we've
go
had
Christmas market, I'll have you.
Christmas market. A well
It's in
described.
there somewhere.
What does that attract?
A well described.
1 million according to Google.
Google. Never reveal your sources for this.
Google?
Yeah.
That's everything.
I know. Right, so set 1 year after Home Alone 2, the McAllisters are off on Christmas vacation again. This time they are heading to Christmas Village in Lapland. They all make it safely there this time, and everything is fine until an avalanche separates Kevin from his family once again. Lost, Kevin stumbles across Santa's workshop where, the wet/sticky bandits are back. I'd call them the frozen bandits in this one.
Because they keep singing Let It Go.
Yeah, yeah, they do. They're back and they're holding Santa and his elves hostage. Kevin booby traps the workshop as per usual and foils the bandits, filled with enough Christmas cheer to overflow your Christmas stocking. So I wanted it total Christmas, this one. It's like all...
Can Santa be played by Tim Allen?
Yeah, of course you can, and we'll tie that in as well, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty basic, this one. I wanted to keep it Christmassy.
Can
Get 'em off.
Mrs. Claus be Tim Curry in drag?
Yes.
He does it.
Hello!
Well, it's because it's set 1 year after Home Alone 2, you could probably have a lot of the Tim Curry.
but like in a very Frankenfurtery sort of
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Come up to the workshop.
And
Got to make a
CDL.
special
Yeah,
delivery.
yeah, yeah. I've got a package. It needs delivering
Tied
Christmas
up
night.
in a ribbon.
That's
Yeah.
it. And on Christmas morning, you'll open it with anticipation.
Yeah. Yeah.
All that shit.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so that's that. Very simple. I'll make up for the longer ones. But I just keep my brief. Tom.
Okay, my sequel is called Care Home Alone. Open brackets, working title, One Flew Over the McAllister's Nest. Wait,
The sweet song of the McAllister.
yeah, that's it. So, it's Christmas in the care home, and old Kevin McAllister is there living quite happily within his own madness.
As we all do.
As we all do in a care home, he's quite gone. He's living in his own mind, and what happens is Christmas comes at the care home and triggers Kevin, and all of a sudden he's back. It's that time he was when his parents left him, and he had to fight off Marv, and he's been triggered by all sorts of events in the care home. So whenever the care home staff come for him, he thinks they're Hank and Marv, right? So then you see inside his head him replaying all of the pranks that he does on them, but in real life, he's doing it on the guards of the sort of care home.
Right. Guards.
Well, it's when I say
All the ratchets,
when I
yeah.
say, the staff.
Right,
the staff. But it's more like somewhere like you would imagine the staff are all wearing white.
Right, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like orderlies, those.
Oh,
kinds of
right,
guys.
right,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
So,
it's,
yeah.
So they're comedy foils. Do you know what I mean? They're sort of like blank canvases who you're allowed to kick the shit out of in
Oh,
these
great,
kind of films,
great.
right? So they're not like nice people. They've not got personalities. They're just dickhead sort of orderlies. And so he's replaying the whole of Home Alone inside his own head, and you see it, and it's quite sort of sensitively done. And then at the end,
sounds it.
Yeah. And then at the end of it, right? What happens
Gasp.
is they're sick of him doing all the stuff that he's been doing.
Yeah.
And they take him off to lobotomise him. And as they lobotomise him, right, you see the scene where his parents get home and burst through the door, and you see the reunion of his mum and the happiness in his face as his parents come back on the weekend, juxtaposed with real life of the happiness returning to his eyes as his brain is turned to mush.
And then does a massive guy who doesn't talk, who's dressed as Santa, lob a fridge out the window?
Yeah, pretty much.
After smothering him with a pillow.
Yeah. And Kevin remains happy for the rest of his days, lobotomised, reunited with his parents in his head.
Film so
Fucking hell.
successful.
Wow.
It triggers a wave of.
Batman reboot.
It's not filled with Christmas cheer as I'd have hoped this episode.
I did mention that Christmas triggered it.
I forgot to. I forgot I'd made a battle plan of all the traps for mine.
What is that?
That's an accurate representation of Kevin McAllister's
House.
from the
house.
first movie.
It's good, that.
Is that his own picture that
Yeah.
is that
that a
in
prop?
the
I
film?
copied it, yeah.
He pressed pause on the DVD and...
I googled the picture.
Yeah, you don't have to.
I'm not that advanced to press pause on
Are you going
it.
to frame that? 'Cause that's
No,
pretty cool.
I'm going to tear it up.
No, it's not Christmassy.
I know. It's put me in a un-Christmassy mood. I was going to hang it.
Well, what's more
Yeah, I
Christmassy
forgot
than a
about
All that
lobotomy?
work.
I thought I've got to say about it now because we're on the sequels. That will for my sequel. Anyway, Eddie, sorry. What's your sequel, please?
Well, mine. Okay, so at Christmas, which takes no further role in the proceedings, Kevin McAllister is CEO of McCall, the largest home security company in the world. Homes are safer than ever. Little does he know that Harry Jr. and Marv Jr. want revenge for their father's incarcerations. They were made during the. I wrote this quite a while ago, so I've forgotten what I've written. They were from, which means they were conceived when Harry and Marv were called the Spunky Bandits. And,
Left their seed in a couple of crack holes.
So basically, what happens is that they know that from this sort of practicing on their fathers twice, Kevin knows how to sort of protect your property, which is more important than the lives of anybody. So he's got a lot of. Basically, it's an industrialised version. He's got something the weight and dimensions of a paint tin without it looking quite as rudimentary as a paint tin. It's called I think it's called the McConcaster. So it's just like it's conker style. It comes down on a sort of on some of that paracord. It's sort of all a bit more professional. It's smoothed out and stuff, and so bang straight in the face. But it sort of measures. It's all laser guided, so it sort of measures how much paracord to let out to proper get
It's
them
a little
right.
winch
So it lets out the appropriate amount of paracord to proper clonk them, and you can have it set to face or nuts. Assuming that all people who break in have nuts. So they hack in, because it's sort of quite modern now, they hack in and they find the details of the McAllister's summer home. So it actually happens in summer, this one, so it's not Christmassy at all.
Right.
Maybe their summer home is in Australia. And so then they try and break in, avoiding all of these things. It's a bit like The Purge.
Right.
Except I'm not going to pretend that the purge is definitely what's going to happen to society, because come on, get over yourselves. The purge. Yeah. So that's so he's made a living out of this and has essentially become sort of the bad guy, because now prisons are more resembling hospitals than they are places of rehabilitation. They're like physical rehabilitation because various limbs have been irreparably damaged. everyone's got a plate. Every criminal has a plate in their face now because they've been snatched.
Or iron.
Yeah. They're mutilated beyond all belief, and it's adorable because he was once very little and blonde when he was a boy. So that's my one.
I've got to say, the second...
Mine's called Home Security Alone.
Oh, the second movie where he's throwing them bricks off, I found that hard to watch again. It's like, really, like,
Because they're quite clearly, if you watch it with the sound off, they're quite clearly rubber, but the sound they've got on it's amazing. The sound,
But do you know a doctor like watched the thing, or some analyst or someone watched it, and they said that like he'd just be brain damaged or dead easily. I mean,
blunt trauma
I mean.
Yeah, but how much blunt trauma is there in those slapstick movies anyway? I mean, it's just a Tom and
I think the
Jerry
first
cartoon.
film though is not as the second one with them bricks. That were like,
there's the bit.
I know there's the first one with
Paint
the.
hands and
Fucking
stuff.
blowtorch on the top of his head.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like he's got like first degree.
But it is like burn. It's not like a brick to the face.
I think you'd survive that.
Yeah, you would survive it.
The
Third
end
degree
like
burns to the head. That
handy.
could kill you. The heat alone going through the skull to the brain could cause you.
He's got his hat on though, hasn't he?
He's got but that melts. It's even worse because it melts onto his head. Imagine that. Imagine
It's a
doctors
polycotton blend. It's
peeling
just
off.
gonna stick.
Peeling off that in A&E like
I know I had a blister with sock once, and I pulled that off, and I'm like,
to get through this, man, there are no painkillers that can help you now.
yeah. And he's
Pretty horrific.
he puts it straight in the snow though outside, doesn't he, as well?
It does, so there's at least some sort of...
Probably got infected or something
what you
after
feel
that.
first.
But yeah.
Also,
Snow's
just,
not sterile.
just how sore it is. Where he sprayed the water all over the steps. Just when he falls backwards,
I mean,
so sore.
he's looking at contracting some kind of staphylococcal infection there at least.
And on that, Merry Christmas. Let's move on to the requels. Right, okay, it's requel time. So we'll start. I'll tell you what. I'll start this one because mine's really short and rubbish. And I had a title. I had a title like I can't really explain it. So Matt, I'll tell you the title in a minute. So a royal family go on holiday, leaving a young prince behind. Okay, in the palace. He booby traps the palace as a gang of robbers attempt to take all the jewellery and expensive furniture and everything. Yeah. And I called it Throne Alone.
No.
Thrown alone.
And that's all I had. That's all I did find this quite difficult.
You know that half rhyming dictionary we got. Really
yeah, Throne Alone.
Go called Game of Thrones alone. Get a few dragons in there.
Yeah.
A lot of
Some
unnecessary
knockers,
nudity.
Yeah.
Would that be one of those hilarious traps?
There's going to
Dragon
be
pit.
some hilarious corgi-related fun in this.
Oh yeah. Well, you could have like dog muck and corgi. Corgi poo and like
I
the
know what
slip,
dog muck is,
the run and slip on it, down steps,
and then one of the corgis comes up, cocks its leg against his head.
yeah. And he goes,
Cocks his leg against his head and then smashes it with a paint can.
yeah. So that's basically a
Finds
reboot.
the treasure trove with all the old execution equipment. Digs out
Oh,
the old killing
Good,
scene.
Yeah.
The old
I should have
beheading
wrote.
axe.
I should have wrote more down.
All the stuff that's still a bit too grisly to put in the Tower of London.
Yeah, we'll have all that. That'll all be in.
Oh, that's-
I want specific with the royal family because I thought you could do it anywhere, really.
Oh no, you could. In fact, it might be more fun to have a fictional sort of European,
Just
sort
have
of mainland
a
European.
Disney-style royal family. You know how they have the royal family.
What, dead? just a couple of young princesses. That's it.
Yeah, tragically die at the start, and then the kids left on their own, and then has ice powers.
Yeah, voiced very tenderly by Maurice LaMarche, and then dead.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Tom, what have we got for us? Requel.
Right, okay, so mine is it's great. This.
Big it up.
Yeah,
We're listening.
This is the Requel. So the Taken movies.
Yes.
Turns out that Brian Mills from the Taken movies is Kevin McAllister's undercover name. Right, so the Taken film is about Kevin McAllister from Home Alone, right? So they tie that in, they show him together, and they show that reveal, and you go, oh man, that's amazing. And then you go, I'm in,
sure that's
I'm
what you
in.
say?
Yeah. That's what they go. That's amazing. That's a right good idea. And then you're in. As you're watching the film, you go, I'm in. I'm watching it, and this is going to be amazing. So it turns out that so he's got a special set of skills that he honed when he was a kid.
He honed alone.
Yeah. The film is called Home Alone Wolf.
Oh.
Yeah.
A lone wolf.
Home, right? So he's in his compound, right? Because he's got a compound somewhere in sort of like
Just by himself.
East LA, right? And the Crips and the Bloods come along And also a third gang, the Wet Bandits, who were a third gang of
Two men.
Yeah, and, no, it's actually a full
Oh, it's
gang.
a full
this
gang.
time.
Yeah.
They're akin to the gang that they have in Short Circuit. Too.
Los Locos.
Yeah, Los Locos.
Los Locos kick your ass. Los Locos kick your face. Los Locos kick
your balls into outer space.
They're akin to them. So you've got the Crips and the Bloods and the Wet Bandits, and they come big gang battle. And it happens to be that Kevin McAllister, a.k.a. Brian Mills of the CIA, right, his compound...
To give him his full title.
To give him his compound that he lives in alone, because he's not allowed to live with his family anymore. Not after the incident.
We're undercover.
So he's living in this compound, and the gang turf war that they have, his compound's right in the centre. And they keep trying to get into his house, and so he keeps trying to fend them off. Fucking gun, knives and all that.
Yeah. He's stopped with traps. He's just
Yeah.
firing automatic weapons at
Have you
them.
seen- you know how badly he fucks people up with just his bare hands and stuff like that? Like that. Kevin just rips.
Could he
through
use
all the
Christmas-themed toys at
Yeah,
least to kill them
exactly.
with? You know,
Yeah,
like
stab
a
'em in the
nutcracker
eye.
to the face and
Yeah,
things.
stab
He's
him in
got
the eye
a whole
with a glass.
Christmas tree and a rocket launcher.
Cracker to the face has a
Handful
different
of
meaning when it comes
baubles.
to gang warfare.
Oh yeah,
In
that'd be
the
good.
eyes.
Yeah, that'd be
You know,
good.
and that kind of thing. Yeah.
Getting the ball.
Yeah. Baubles and hand grenades. He's hidden them.
He's
disguised them.
got an old field artillery cannon
Yeah.
just loaded with flaming Christmas puddings.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All of that.
Yeah.
He's got a pan of, you know, like what they have at Thanksgiving. in-
Mulled wine.
No,
Goose
it's
fat.
America, isn't it?
Yeah, right.
Right. So he's got a pan of sort of like searing hot sweet potato covered with a marshmallow topping. Tips it on one of them's heads from
It's just like
Yeah,
delicious
yeah.
napalm.
Yeah, it's basically Assault on Precinct 13, but set in the Taken stroke Home Alone
Tinsel
Universe.
universe, yeah, which
So,
is
yeah.
now the Requel.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay. All right, Eddie, what have you got for us?
Kevin, brackets, known as K-Dog,
Yeah.
is a YouTube prankster who smashes paint cans into people's faces and shoots them with an air rifle. He punctures them with nails, etc. He gets 24 million subscribers on YouTube. Then he says something a bit off colour, and people can't believe that someone who maims strangers online is a jerk. And he has to release like a sad video, like where he goes, I just want to tell people, and people are taking it all out of context, like when I set that pram on fire and pushed it down the stairs like that Russian film. And so it's sort of about the rise and fall of a sort of overindulged YouTube sensation. So he's like, it's your man K-Dog, and then he's got a little like K-Dog noise.
It's the video where he finds somebody who's committed suicide
Yeah,
in the woods,
yeah, that's-
and he strings them up in the shower and makes them dance.
Yeah.
People find that offensive.
Get out of here, little pervert! I'm going to slap your silly! Yeah, he does that. Yeah, so
You're cooking, Frankie.
Let's do unboxing videos of the traps that
Yeah, what he's going to do is he's just going to hold it out there and he's just going to go, oh, wait a minute, yeah, I think so. And he just pulls out, you know, he's like, oh, yeah, I think this probably got paint in it. He's going to open it and go, oh, wow, look at that, yeah, it does. And then prove it. Because you could be lying. And then...
It's Dulux beige.
Yeah, hashtag not spawn, Dulux beige,
Yeah.
hashtag not spawn. And then, so that he's got to do that. And then also... you find out that he's actually done some quite good sort of riff tracks kind of thing over old films, Angels with Even Dirtier Faces, Angels Who Need to Wash Their Faces like really now, seriously, Old Angry Man with a Tommy Gun at Christmas films and stuff like that. So he's done a few sort of movie ones
Angels
as well.
with staphylococcus.
Yeah,
Because they
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
wash their
Absolutely,
faces in the
yeah,
first
yeah,
place.
Yeah, that's right.
Angels who are so dirty that if they did wash now, it would actually kill them because they're not used to the airborne bacteria around
Angels
them.
with parasitic infections.
Yeah, there's,
Always with the infections.
Angels that are only held together by those stubborn understains.
He's watched all of them, and that's sort of, and then he just got into the pranking stuff. So
Angels who've
There's-
died alone and not been found for weeks and have then sort of like, you know, kind of like-
atrophied and
bonded with the sofa they sat on so that they have to be taken away.
Even
Yes.
Angels
Attached
who are
to it.
so filthy, even the cats won't eat them after they
Yeah,
die. And he gets into a bit of trouble because he does a brilliant prank undercover where he goes in and he picks up a toothbrush and just stares at the woman behind the counter and walks slowly backwards out of the shop because a frightening man is next to her. And she keeps going, "You need to pay for that toothbrush," and then he just keeps walking backwards and backwards and backwards. And then and people go, "Oh no, but it was just for lols, so it's okay." And they're like, "Hey, that was a mom and pop drugstore. You can't stick that dollar that he would have spent there, that 60 cents she would have made from that. That's vital to her overheads." So
and then a lad runs out who's all American. What's his name? Jimmy or something. "Stop that boy, Jimmy!"
yeah,
He goes, "I will."
Yeah, he runs out and then he licks his lips far too many times and then goes shoplifter.
Yeah.
Very odd.
It is odd. I'll tell you what's really odd though.
Shoplifter.
The Marley guy. Why is he being such an arsehole
Yeah,
through it? Because when he slams his hand down on the carrot and looks at him, why would you do that?
He's going,
Wait your turn for a start. He was there first.
I dare you to say something, prick. Ask me why there's a massive hole in my hand.
Yeah. Or when he's he's walking along with his shovel. Why do you say hello to somebody? Don't just stand there menacingly looking at a kid. That's not on.
No wonder your door's not hanging around with you anymore.
Yeah. No wonder people think you're a weirdo who murders people.
It's like, "Look, honey, I don't think we should take the little girl to see your father anymore because he just stands with a shovel and stares at her."
Yeah.
Maybe he has some form of Asperger's.
He maybe does, but there are still. Someone should have mentioned it by now.
Yeah.
There are these things can be.
What is that hole in his hand as well now we've talked about? What is it?
Stigmata.
Yeah, he's half Jesus, half
That
shovel.
appeared when he were watching his granddaughter inquire in it. All this blood just started. You're like, wrap it up.
He was putting together the nativity scene outside the church.
Have you got an explanation? Is this a
And
deleted
as he
scene?
touched the Christ child, it just burned through his skin.
Alien blood.
And he puts some salt on it.
Yeah.
Nothing untoward or spiritual about it at all. He simply tripped and speared his hand on a reindeer, on an antler.
On an antler.
Went through his hand. That's it.
The sharpest of all Christmas
He
decorations.
got impaled by a reindeer.
Just simply a terrible work accident.
Oh. But he didn't seek medical assistance. He just thought, "I'll go." Maybe that's
He
why.
couldn't
Chris,
call
isn't it?
ambulance.
American hospitals are shut over Christmas.
Is that why he was at the?
insurance
Was it a chemist he were in buying his toothbrush? Because maybe that's why he went. He went, "Oh, I need some help with this, but I'll look menacingly at that lad first."
Yeah.
Have you got any Savlon?
Yeah.
I feel this getting itchy, and that can't be good. I think it's Staphylococcus.
Right, on that bombshell, let's
sepsis.
let's move on. Let's move on to Josh. What have you got for your equal? Do we need a preemptive warning that this is longer than?
Feel free to make yourself another cup of tea. Take this on pause.
Right, okay, so it starts off, we're watching, this is a requel, so completely separate, not even in the same country. So we're watching a Sheffield United and Sheffield Wednesday football game. Over at
Where is it that you live, Tom?
Sheffield.
Oh, yeah.
okay, it's over at the Hillsborough, and basically Sheffield Wednesday
Just Hillsborough.
have lost.
Hillsborough
Stadium.
This is going to play so well in America.
Look, it's not for them, it's about football.
The
Everyone
Americans,
wants
it's Hillsborough.
it. Hillsborough. Right, okay.
Borough.
So, where the fuck are we?
Oh no! Don't stop him!
Right, okay.
Don't let him lose his place.
I think
Sheffield
if we
Wednesday.
distract him enough, it might never end.
Sheffield Wednesday have lost and
The
they've been
Owls.
relegated to the league.
What league?
The Championship.
Oh, right, yeah, that's
When was that formed?
Yeah, see. Right, okay. So, and there we meet our protagonist, 12-year-old bald girl, Emily. We've heard scruffy
Bald
hair.
girl?
Ball girl. You know ball
bald
boys.
I thought you
girl.
said bald girl.
I didn't know,
It's
yeah.
gonna be
Bald
like
person,
a-
whatever.
We're going to
the-
be tragic. Let's not
Chemo
go there.
victim,
No,
kind
let's
of
not.
A beautiful film about alopecia.
Grown alone.
Oh, come on.
Just one hair.
No.
Okay. So basically, after the game, Emily and a couple of the other ball people, they go to the dressing room.
The
Bald.
people do.
I'm still hearing bold, but keep going.
Bald people got no reason.
So Emily and her friends, they knock on the door of the dressing room, and the manager, who's played by Jarvis Cocker, famous Wednesday fan, and welcomes them in. At the end of the season, it's a tradition in football that the ball people get the boots of the players. is a long-standing tradition in football. And here, Emily shares a moment with Wednesday player Danny Graham, and she tells him that it's not our failures that define us, but how we bounce back from them that make us. Her father told her that. Remember that. And as they're wrapping up,
We will.
Foreshadowing.
and gives him the boots, right? So as they're all leaving the stadium, Emily notices there's a couple of corner flags that haven't been put away right. Oh, what a nightmare. I'll go run them away. So she puts them back and goes to the exit, locked. She's trapped in the Hillsborough all by herself.
The Hillsborough.
And she's in a home stadium as well.
She is in a home stadium. But who's breaking in? Oh, it's some fucking Sheffield United hooligans who want to...
Not the
storm in.
BBC, the Blades bashing crew.
It is the Blaze Bashing Crew with their leader,
Well,
head hooligan, Sean
Wouldn't that be
Bean.
the Wednesdays?
Sean Bean.
No.
Sean
They would
Bean.
bash the Blades.
Famous
Are these Blades
United
who
fan.
bash?
Yeah.
What? The Blades are the guy.
That sounds like they beat up their own fans.
The Blades
They are the
bashing
Blades.
crew, that's what they
So
call themselves.
But that sounds like a crew who bash Blades.
No, they're the Blades bashing.
Yeah, well, they're.
I know.
They need a comma in this firm, that's
Yeah.
for
They
damn
just
sure.
wanted to call themselves the BBC,
well,
didn't
I mean,
they?
the Wednesday ones are called the OCS, the Owls Crime Squad.
Just bothering
I would
owls.
tell you what, Owl Crime Squad.
That's the name of their hooligan outfit. I
Monty
think.
Python almost called the Owl Crime Squad.
Owl stretching time.
Look, listen, we need to not.
I can't believe we're.
I'm telling you, we need to not talk about either of them because these guys are fucking hardcore, and if they find out about this,
And we're dissing them. Can you cut?
so
Can you
need to be
bleep all
careful
that?
about what you say from now on.
They're not-
I didn't name
No, you
series.
need to be
I
careful
just
about
said
what you
hooligans.
say. That's a rule
It's
for.
Josh that brought up
Yeah, it was
Sheffield
it.
hooliganism.
Right, okay, so
Right.
the head
Very careful.
Sheffield United hooligan is played by Sean Bean,
Yes.
and Emily, the bald person, the bald girl,
Bald girl.
she starts.
Economically bald now.
She booby traps the entire stadium with, and they're breaking later on, so it's all football related traps. Hooligans, they're strung up by the goal nets.
By the balls.
What, a corner trap?
Have you got one of those things that fires footballs for practice? One of those machines.
That's not in there.
That's tennis balls.
Tom, that'd be at the training ground, not the stadium. Think about it. They get twatted in the face by the corner flags like an Acme rake,
Right.
burned by hot liquid Bovril, blinded by floodlights, spooked by the owl mascot who's been rigged up to move on its own,
In a shower.
splashed by white paint for the lines,
Oh,
and
yeah.
outraged by overpriced beers. So the leader,
Liquid rage.
So the leader, Sean Bean, after being painted, blinded, spooked and twatted, confronts Emily and goes in to punch her, but she holds up Danny Graham's boot with the studs on it, cracks his knuckle up and he's like, drops to his knees. Then Emily twats him across the face and runs away. He dies, but we don't see that yet.
You know that
Sean
throughout
Bean
this,
has got
Sean
to die.
Bean has to, every time he gets
Oh, yeah.
twatted, he's got to say,
Bastard.
You could say
every
that
time.
as he's running away, possibly,
no,
but
you got to say it every time, like it's a
You're right, it would work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
every time one of
It's
the
a
Paint at face. Bastard.
like sharp.
Yeah.
Can he be dressed as Sharp?
Can you make Sharp
However you
the
like.
movie?
I like Sharp.
hey, he does support the Blades.
In
They're
Sheffield,
sharp, eh?
I'm sure there's a paint company in Sheffield called Sharps. as
Called
well.
Sean Bean Paint Products.
Yeah, Sean Bean's paint products. Yeah. SBPP.
So she escapes the stadium through the hole that the hooligans cut in the big fence, and the police are out there waiting for her, but the manager for Sheffield Wednesday, Jarvis Cock, is like, no, she's one of the ball girls, don't worry about it.
Does he
And,
say, no, don't do that?
He does, just like
Is there a
that.
hilarious scene where she's disguised as the mascot? Ozzy the Owl?
Yeah, he's in there.
He's got
Spooked by an owl mascot outfit that's been rigged up to move on its own.
nice.
Where are we?
Does she at one point get possessed and her head turns all the way around?
The owl can, and that could really, really perturb one of the hooligans.
We've never been so desperate for a guest's suggestion to be different, have we?
There's a lot of blocking going on here.
Yeah.
So
Football, isn't it?
all the hooligans are apprehended. Emily's sitting on the back of the van with one of those foil blankets and hot cocoa, and her mother shows up, and she's so worried, and she explains that she's locked in the stadium. The mother says that she'll get her a phone for an early Christmas present.
Right.
Oh.
Christmas. Everyone drink.
Finally!
And she's just like her father because he used to get into scraps with Blades fans as well, and they walk off down the street as the Sheffield dawn is approaching, and the camera pans up, and we see her father's face in the clouds.
Oh.
Remember who you are.
We suffer.
There's a little Christmas tear rolls down
And
everybody's
it turns out her dad was a liar.
Very good, okay. We got through it. Right. Noel, your requel, please.
Nice and simple.
Good.
Noel's Requel is the first movie but underwater.
Pretty much.
I think it's Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
But
Let's see if we can help you flesh it out.
flesh it out. I've gone for one of my it's basically straight remake, but one of my fantasy recasting.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm going back to the 40s.
What, like with orcs and shit?
Not with orcs. It's like
Not
just
that kind of fantasy.
no.
It's like fantasy football.
No.
I see.
Yeah.
So first film written by John Hughes, directed by Chris Lumb. Pretty good team. This one written by Tex Avery, directed by Chuck Jones.
Oh, yes.
Oh, love it.
Now I'm feeling Christmassy.
I thought you were going to say the real Chris Columbus who they'd gone back in time.
Sadly,
No. So Kevin is a young Bugs Bunny, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm still undecided on a lot of the casting. I think Harry is probably Yosemite
Fudd?
Sam.
Oh, okay.
No, the old man, Elmer Fudd's going to play old man Marley.
Ah, right, okay.
I've been shouting your pavements.
Be very quiet.
Yeah.
We're making pavement sound.
Daffy and Porky, they'd have a good dynamic.
Daffy's definitely, I think Marv is definitely Daffy Duck.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the nice twist though with Elmer Fudd is that people he thinks he's asking the Wascally Wabbit, but he's not.
He's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little twist there.
That's why at the end, when Yosemite Sam is trying to bite off Bugs Bunny's fingers, belts it across the back of the. Well, actually, he's not a shovel; he's a shotgun.
Yeah,
It's fun,
yeah.
isn't he? Let's face it.
Shotguns in the salt
Yeah.
bin.
He just
Pulls
fills
it
his
out.
Yeah.
He likes to be close for the kill.
Who is it? Which one's? Who's Marv then?
Marv, I think Marv's Daffy Duck.
Daffy Duck.
And Yosemite Sam.
But I was thinking about Wile E. Coyote should be one of them as well.
Quietly
But he does get
Wile E.
fucked over
Coyote is-
repeatedly.
Yeah.
He could be Wile E. Coyote could be the third person. He crops up and just gets taken out every time, and then just comes back like
with the sign
Yeah.
going Home Alone.
I like the idea of Wile E. Coyote.
And I thought the hotel staff, I wasn't sure, maybe Sylvester as the hotel manager.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but definitely at the end when they get covered in bird seed, that's the old granny, and they get killed by all these Tweety pies.
Oh, yeah. That's good, yeah.
Swarm off them.
The homeless lady with the affinity for classical music.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's definitely great.
Could you have Marv as, sorry, not Marv, Harry as Pepe Le Pew? He's quite predatory in nature.
Well, I thought when Marv does when he chats up the women, that bit it's a bit, it's like a recasting, like Pepe, as a little nod to Louis Buñuel's that obscure object called Desire, which has mainly played by two different actresses.
Yeah.
I'm sure audience, the little
Yeah,
nods
they'll know that.
I mean,
well, if you're going to have
also,
Harry Lime references to Home Alone, I think you can
There's
have
also apparently
Louis Buñuel.
Nutty Professor.
Oh yes,
Because
yeah.
when he chats to the women, he's much more debonair,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a raging
Yeah, so he
skunk,
can.
which is the sauciest thing you can be. But yeah,
I thought we could have broadened the franchise because have Buzz played by Spike from the Tom and Jerry cartoons, the big dog.
Yeah.
Mind you, if you've got the old lady with Tweety Pie, then possibly one of Hank and Marv should be Sylvester.
Yes, possibly. Yeah, that would work. But there's so many combinations that you can kind of and just continually, and then you can up the violence. Like Daffy Duck is going to get cut
Peter
into
McAllister.
with a log saw at
Peter
some point.
McAllister should be played by Foghorn Leghorn.
Yes.
I say, where's my boy? I say.
What about the mother then?
Mother
Who's
should be
Kathleen O'Hara?
if it should be you should never see her and it should be the old lady from Thomas, but she was shouting,
Yeah, you should only see her.
I know the
on a
mother's
stool
just Bugs
from
Bunny,
Uncle
but
Ben.
that's when Bugs Bunny plays a woman.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Dual role. Got it. Okay, yeah. Yeah. What else could I be forgetting, Doc?
It's a shame
Kevin.
there was never a big like Avengers style Looney Tunes one from back in the day, was there? It was just Space Jam where they were all together, wasn't it?
They
Back in
did-
action.
They put together sort of compendiums of the 6-minute shorts based loosely around.
You've got Who Framed Roger Rabbit, haven't you, as well, with all
Well, you've got like
The greatest crossover of all
There's
time.
like Daffy's Island or something like that, where they're trapped on a desert island, and then it just links between shorts. And they've done a few of those. They did a brilliant.
They
joke
retconned
about,
them.
Yeah, they did a brilliant joke about it on The Simpsons. It was the Itchy and Scratchy movie, now with 16% new material. So basically, just a
Deadpool 2 then.
Yeah.
Oh, Deadpool, Once Upon a Deadpool.
Yeah.
Are they going to do it like...
It's Princess Bride, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I was thinking more about your film. Are they going to do it like Who Framed Roger Rabbit with the cartoons in real life, overlaid over?
Oh, in this. Yes,
Like the
yeah.
original house and the Plaza Hotel and whatnot.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think with
It's a very-
Tex and Chuck at the helm, I think you can go full cartoon for this.
Full cartoon.
Yeah.
To be fair, it would be a
be
waste
a
not
dream.
to have that. Yeah,
I
you're
like the idea of
absolutely
full cartoon, but also I think that technique of doing...
But
like
just
Who
have it with
Framed
all
Roger
cartoons
Rabbit.
and no people.
All cartoons and no people.
Yeah.
But in
Set
like
in
live
the real
action
world.
backgrounds.
That's the world.
All right, cool. Right, that's the recall. So let's move on to the recaps and see who wins, basically, who gets green lit. Okay, time to recap what we've all just said and pick some winners for the day. So we'll start with Josh. So just your prequel first.
My prequel was Home Alone Origins. It was the pulp 1902 adventure in Egypt and that.
Yep.
Lara Croft and Nathan Drake.
Yeah.
And at the end, the reveal with the
Oh yeah, McAllister.
Death Mask.
It was a Pharaoh's curse.
no.
My first one was the conception.
Who could forget?
Sperm alone.
Yeah.
With that amazing opening scene.
Yeah.
That will,
Yeah.
Be sure to empty any cinema, basically.
The inner space. Look who's talking. Think, yeah. You could have Macaulay Culkin voice the sperm as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
With the two bad guys, Spunk and Marv.
The spunk bandits.
Spunk and Marv.
Yep, okay. Mine was Lone Alone, just explores the seedy past of Peter McAllister as a loan shark and his way to the top.
Mine was Motorhome Alone, where Kevin's parents, when Kevin is age 2, get kidnapped for ransom by terrorists. The same Iranian terrorists, I've decided, from Back to
the Future, yep.
Okay,
yep.
and because they like the look of it, they go,
Who just decide to drive into...
that's a nice motorhome, we should add that to our collection. And,
Yeah.
And they don't see Kevin in the back because they're thick, they don't check. And then he sort of like, what's he call it? Scuppers their attempts to do all kinds of crimes.
Yep, good.
It was Baby's Day Out with terrorists.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That was a much more.
Well, Baby's Day Out's a John
Never
Hughes
seen
production
Baby's
as well,
Day Out,
so that's fine.
No, but
Yeah, Eddie?
my prequel is the story of how Tim Curry made it big in the world of hotels by helping out. He works when Michael Jackson dangles his baby. He takes extra pillows to John Lennon and Yoko Ono at their bed in. He takes room service. There's an inopportune moment of Watergate, and that's how he ends up at the Plaza.
Okay, what do we all think? I'll get a vote. I'm not sure about this one myself.
I'm going to go with Motorhome Alone. It's fun. It's like a different type of Christmas film, isn't it? Set in Middle East.
It's gonna be like Die Hard, but in a motorhome.
All your things are like Die Hard.
They are, aren't they?
Yeah,
But set somewhere else, which is fine. But
It's fine, yeah.
what do you
It
think?
harks back to that era when Middle Eastern terrorists were just kind of a little bit threatening. but
Quirky.
It was okay
Oh,
to kind
running
of,
back to the
fun,
future.
we're
Here
all
we go.
kind of, you know,
Humorous.
They're all dead now in this movie.
dead
That's
now,
fine.
yeah.
Back to the Future, they die, don't they? Die Hard die. So what? We need votes. So
Home Alone sounds good.
Murder
more Home Alone. Go on then. I'll have that as well.
Like
Yeah,
Baby's
yeah,
Day
well
Out
done,
in the
Tom.
desert. Yeah,
Okay,
very good.
sequels, Josh.
My sequel was Home Alone 3, where old man Harry goes to the Christmas market and goes into an escape room that he wasn't anticipating.
No.
I've got Harry and Marv breaking out of prison by using Marv as a human battering ram.
Does it Swiss Army Man?
Yeah.
Twat bandits.
All right.
And they end up meeting Samuel L. Jackson from Unbreakable.
Yes, yeah, that's good. Okay.
Glass Factory.
Mine was just Home Alone 3, Lost in Lapland. They go on a Christmas holiday, they make it there. Avalanche separates them. Then it all takes place Santa's Workshop hostage situation. Christmassy, beyond Christmas.
Beyond Christmassy. Mine was Care Home Alone, aka One Flew Over the McAllister's Nest.
Oh yeah.
With the beautiful scene at the end where he's reunited with his parents during a lovely lobotomy.
Just like the end of Brazil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be at peace now, Kevin.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun.
No, we get flagged for that.
Well, I think you're all right with a bit.
No, the algorithm.
Well, credit John Williams, brilliant composer. There you go. That's your music.
Buy his stuff.
There we go. Yeah, buy Home Alone 2 on
He needs the
CD.
money.
Critique and review.
Yeah. Eddie.
Kevin McAllister, CEO of Muck Corp. The world's homes are safer than they've ever been due to his basically sort of copywriting and patenting the notion of smacking people in the face on things on power chords. Harry Jr. and Marv Jr., who were conceived during the brief period when the boys were called the Spunky Bandits, tried to break into the McAllister's home to exact revenge, and it goes a bit like The Purge.
Right.
Because that's actually what would happen, guys. That's
Go,
really
guys.
it's going.
Okay, what do we think then? Votes, please. I like Knowles actually. I like tying it into the Mr. Glass thing. Got to say.
Yes, I like a sort of an escaper caper sort of thing there. Yeah,
I love the
Escape
idea
a
of Kevin
keeper.
being recast by Samuel L. Jackson. So.
yeah, that too.
Stick that in. You got his vote.
Brought a brave bit of recasting.
What do you think
I
then?
love
Does
the idea
everybody?
of the press question. So, Macaulay, how do you feel about not being cast in the new Home Alone film? Oh, I don't really. No, but the guy playing you is Sam Jackson. What? Samuel L. Jackson? Yes, Samuel L. Jackson. Right, I do feel a bit
Got a
upset
problem
they
with
didn't.
that racist?
Yeah.
I'd be delighted to be played by Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
who wouldn't?
Probably turns out it's a bit autobiographical because if you think about it, the M from M. Night Shyamalan, McAllister.
Quite a stretch that, but yeah. So,
Is
Macaulay.
Macaulay
Macaulay
McAllister.
yeah. Okay. Are we all? What do we think? Do we all agree on?
Yes.
Yeah,
No, I
like
just want to say I was going to vote for Josh's just because he kept it short.
Great to be here.
Just as a reward.
So that was. Well, it's all to play for. We've got one more left. Let's go to the
I do
requels.
feel a bit bad for not voting for the amount of effort that he's put in.
Yeah.
You get an A for effort. I said it earlier. You get an A for effort. Definitely. It's the most effort anybody's ever put into this show, which I feel like it should be penalised, not celebrated.
You do effort.
Just as a warning to future guests, they should not be putting that much effort in.
Really, because he's making us look bad.
No, he's not.
He isn't.
Merry Christmas.
Well, mine was Home Alone Absolution, which is the one that was set in Hillsborough, the Sheffield, and the Emily,
Hillsborough.
The Hillsborough.
Yeah.
Hillsborough.
You know the one. And the hooligans. Sean Bean and
Later
Jarvis
Owls.
Cocker.
Yeah.
Sean Bean, yeah. Okay.
I was the Warner Brothers cartoon version of Home Alone,
Yeah.
as scripted by Tex Avery.
Yeah, mine was the Throne Alone royal family, basically remake it all film, but set in a royal family establishment. What's the word I want? Palace. It's written there twice. Why didn't I just go palace? Yeah. Okay.
Improv show every Saturday for Saturday month, is it? Come along and see these guys weave their magic.
We're all believe it or not, everybody sat around this table is a competent improviser. Believe it or not. Anyway, links in the description.
Mine was called Home Alone Wolf. Assault on Precinct 13 with Liam Neeson playing Kevin McAllister, aka Brian Mills from the Taken films crossover.
Yeah.
And his compound, his home, middle of a gang warfare between the Bloods, the Crips, and the Wet Bandits.
Nice, okay. Right, Eddie.
Mine was Kevin McAllister, best known as K-Dog, is
Yep.
a YouTube prankster who smashes paint cans to people's faces, shoots them, punctures them with nails. Then he says something that he shouldn't do, and people went, "Oh, I can't believe the guy who's on YouTube is a div."
Yeah.
And then he does a really, really sad, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I cannot believe it."
Yeah.
Ugly cry kind of video and at Christmas.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
I'm going to definitely pick Knowles. I love
Yeah,
a bit of the old
okay.
Knowles,
Warner Brothers.
Throne Alone was a close second.
Really?
Yeah.
I enjoyed them all, but Knowles, ticks all the boxes.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, you got my vote, Eddie, for the
Thank you.
YouTube satire.
Yes.
Bring those fuckers down.
Yes,
That's what I'm
absolutely.
saying.
No, that's a good. They're all good ideas.
No,
It's, but-
kids.
People who watch YouTube are idiots.
I'm going for
Everyone
I
on
watched Home Alone on
YouTube is
YouTube.
the
bad.
amount of Christmassy goodness yours would bring to people.
Right,
Is
yeah.
gets my vote there.
Balls in eyes. Come on.
I know, but but
Extreme
Chuck
ultra-violence
Jones
at
and
Christmas.
you know,
Yeah,
you
But
know, come on.
your violence is harrowing. This is funny.
That's like the Grinch cartoon,
Christmas
but
violence.
1,000 times.
I've
You
just
know,
realised also the mother can be played by the cat who always ends up with a white stripe down her back and walking
yes.
under a fence.
Ah, yes.
right.
It's the dad, Pepe Le Pew.
Well, Noel, I believe you got
Anyway.
two. Tom got one there, so well done. Well, that's it for Home Alone for the Christmas special of Prequel, Sequel,
Merry
Requel.
Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, and we'll see you in the new year with some more episodes.